Hello everybody, this is Saberrex coming to you live with my 9th video review for the Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/6 Scale Raptors Series action figures by Creative Beast Studio and David Silva. And today we're going to be looking at figure number 4 in the toy line, Saurornitholestes sullivani. So here we are, there it is, and before we take a look at this figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging for it. So here we have Saurornitholestes sullivani. This is the magnified illustration done by Jonathan Quo, which is universal for all the Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, and I love the color scheme for this dinosaur. It is based on a secretary bird, which is for those of you who don't know, is a bird of prey from Africa that is very long-legged and actually hunts like Velociraptor. It actually uses its powerful feet to kick and kill venomous snakes, including cobras, which make up a large portion of its diet. And yeah, this color scheme really works well for Saurornitholestes, as does the plumage on the head. There are actually 2 variants made for this figure for Saurornitholestes. The Fan's Choice variant, which is another species called Saurornitholestes langstoni, and of course the main variant, which is Saurornitholestes sullivani. And S. sullivani is actually the newer species described. S. langstoni is actually the one we've known in regards to species. He's for this genus for the much longer period of time, but both of these were done for the toy line. But of course the first species that was discovered was done as the Fan's Choice variant, and color wise it is actually based on a Roadrunner, an American Roadrunner, not the cartoon Roadrunner from the Looney Tunes, although David Silva, the creator of these figures, actually did take one of the Builder Raptor kits that he kept for himself, and he actually made a Saurornitholestes langstoni figure that was the same color as the Looney Tunes Roadrunner. So I thought that was a great tribute to cartoons and dinosaurs all at the same time. It just made me laugh so hard when I saw that. But yeah, so there were 2 variants made for this, and they're both different species. So if you want one or the other, you're easily able to get that on creativebeast.com, where these are sold. And yeah, it's up to you which one you want, but I definitely love them both. I only decided to get the one, but I may or may not get the other one as well, just to show the different species. Either way, I'm fine with only just having one. But moving on, inside the box itself is the removable diorama, which you can place behind the figure for added effect, and I really love this swampy wetlands area type feel. It reminds me of a lot of bird sanctuaries I've been to, because I love bird watching, and yeah, I've been to all sorts of places where you can see birds like that, and it's just gorgeous. But yeah, going to the back of the box, we have the full body illustration by Jonathan Quo, which you can see here, and it's very beautifully done. I love that swampy feel, that kind of marshy wetlands. Here we have some facts about the dinosaur itself, and Saurornitholestes has quite an extensive range, as you can see here. Goes from New Mexico all the way into Alberta and Montana. Saurornitholestes sullivani, the newer species, actually is the one that ranges into New Mexico, and it's actually found in the Kaiparowitz Formation, which is where a lot of new dinosaurs like Teratophonius, Cosmoceratops, Utah ceratops and a lot of other dinosaurs have been found, and that area is in a lot of trouble right now because of they're trying to remove and are currently in the process of removing protections for that area. And if we lose the Grand Staircase Escalante, where all these fossils are found, because that's where the Kaiparowitz formation is, the Grand Staircase Escalante, we may lose the chance to to study any more of these dinosaurs forever. So I really recommend, and I know this is a bit off topic, but I really recommend protecting that area so we can study the fossils of the dinosaurs that some of these figures are actually based off of. And that's just a really important thing to me, protecting fossil sites from harm and degradation, because if you don't, there's nothing new to learn. So moving on. On the back we also of course have the list of figures in the toy line, other than the Fans' Choice variants, of course. So there we have that on the box, and let's move on to the figure. So here we have Saurornitholestes sullivani, and I love this figure. It is essentially a dinosaur version of the secretary bird, and the secretary bird itself looks like something of a dinosaur. So yeah, there's really not much difference between them, but I love the color scheme, and yeah, he is just such a cool figure. I mean, look at that. He actually, I've noticed that he actually, along with a Saberrex, has this unique kind of short wing mold. Just a very interesting kind of wing mold. He does have all 26 points of articulation that are universal to all the beasts of the Mesozoic figures. So arms, neck, jaws, tongue, head, legs, feet, claws, tail, they all move, and of course the tail's also got a wire in it for extra posability. Inside the base of the tail itself there are two sockets where you can pose the tail as you see fit. So I put it in the lower set socket instead of the more horizontal one, because I wanted the tail a little bit more erect so that it would be a bit more dynamic. But yeah, I love the face sculpt on this dinosaur as well, and those head feathers. This is actually the only figure in the toy line with this head crest, this crest of feathers on the head. It and Fans' Choice variant Saurornitholestes langstoni actually both have those, but where this is more akin to the real secretary bird, the one on S. langstoni is more akin to a roadrunner. Kind of looks like a mohawk overall, but yeah, very nicely done. Like all these figures, he has the clear translucent stand to support his weight, and it clips on. It's got the clip-on attachment which you can adhere underneath the pelvis, and of course it also comes with this attachment here, so you can just lean it against the stand if you want, although I find this is a bit more stable for these figures that have the clip-on attachment. For Dromaeosaurus and Zenuanlong, which require the leaning stand because they have extra fluffy underparts feathers, I should say, where there's a piece of soft plastic that does not allow for the clip to adhere. The leaning post works better for them, and they do lean quite stably on there, but for this figure, definitely go with the clip-on stand. He's more stable with this on than the other one. in regards to the display stand itself, the display base, I really like this. It's kind of a wetlands feeling, or forest for her type feeling, and yeah, just really works out very nicely. And on the underside, as is again universal, you have all the you have the hidden compartment for the running toes, or the walking toes, whichever you decide to put on there and under there. So that is a great little feature in that regard, and I really like it. But yeah, just a gorgeous figure. And he has some of the biggest toe claws, along with a Saurornitholestes, Langstoni, and I believe with Velociraptor even. In regards to his toe claws, he's got some of the longest toe claws of any of these raptors, despite having relatively short wings and such. I love the tail on this figure itself. Very beautiful. Just that layered look of feathers. Oh, just so much depth to it. And yeah, just a gorgeous figure. Now, size comparison wise, he is pretty large. I would say, compared to the other figures, I would say he is, I would say larger than some, but probably not larger than all of them. Definitely not longer than Sagon, because Sagon is actually probably the longest of them. But here he is compared with Velociraptor, and I'm actually surprised he is longer than Velociraptor. That's a big shock for me. So, wow, I did not expect that, because I used Velociraptor to compare most of them. Here he is with a Trosiraptor, which is significantly shorter. Here he is with Sagon. Yeah, so there you have that. And oh my gosh, he actually is longer. Just very slightly, but I think this is actually the very longest of all the beasts of the Mesozoic figures. Wow, I'm impressed. He actually is the longest. Not by a lot, but just enough that he actually is a little longer than Sagon. Here he is with Balar, and I am showing these now in numerical order. Yeah, because I had ordered these figures via split shipping, I have been reviewing them as I had opened them, and in numerical order after which I had received them. But yeah, so Balar is a lot shorter, I should say, than any of them. Of course, he's the shorty of the bunch, so yeah, he's the midget of the bunch. Here he is with Dromaeosaurus, which is really nice. Here he is with Zenuan Long. No comparison for size there. Here he is with Pyroraptor. I apologize for the pause between raptors. I had to keep one of them from falling over. Yeah, Pyroraptor kind of got jostled about when I was trying to show him off. And last but not least, here he is with Raptor. And yeah, yeah, these two, yeah, again, Saurornitholestes is definitely the longest of the bunch. Not by much, but he does have the, but he is the longest in regards to length. I am actually shocked that he is that much bigger. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous figure. Now, this was actually the first stretch goal that was reached after the project was funded, and yeah, I am very glad that that David Silva decided to use Saurornitholestes sullivani in the lineup, because this was a relatively new dinosaur at the time of its discovery, and it is still a relatively new dinosaur. It is it's only been known for like the past 4 or 5 years, while its cousin has been known for almost 20, I think, maybe more. But yeah, Saurornitholestes sullivani is a great new dinosaur from an area where we are uncovering a lot of different fossils in the Grand Staircase Escalante, which of course is right now in trouble because of diminished protections on it, which is unfortunate. But nevertheless, the Grand Staircase Escalante has a plethora of fossil material that Saurornitholestes is a part of, like new horned dinosaurs, new duck-billed dinosaurs, hadrosaurs, new ankylosaurs, new tyrannosaurs. Just an amazing array of new species and specimens there. In fact, just a few months ago, paleontologists working in the Grand Staircase Escalante and in the surrounding area actually uncovered a 70% complete tyrannosaur, which they believe to be a specimen of Teratophonius, which is a relatively small tyrannosaur compared to T-Rex, but nevertheless, the find is significant because of its completeness, and yeah, the fact that so many good dinosaur specimens have been found there so far, it just makes me wonder what else is out there. And what you're seeing here with Saurornitholestes is just a piece of that. So yeah, a lot more to look forward to. But yeah, as I was saying before, this was the first stretch goal for the beasts of the Mesozoic that was reached. And on creativebeast.com, yeah, I would say he's probably around $40, maybe $50 now, but he was about $35 on BackerKit, but because BackerKit is closed now as of the 28th, you can only get Saurornitholestes at creativebeast.com, and I would highly recommend getting this figure, as I kind of like both variants of this, but if I had to choose one or the other, I'm glad I chose this one overall. I mean, I really like the Roadrunner one, but at the same time, I really like the Secretary Bird colored S. sullivani more. I guess that's just my personal preference, but it's a very, very gorgeous figure, and I love it. I really do. So, this is Saberrex signing off, saying you're never too old to play with toys, don't be afraid to unleash your inner child, and have a good day. Thank you.